Unit 5 talks about linear functions and graphing. Now, it works up into a very complex, and by the word complex, it doesn't necessarily mean difficult. It just means that there's a lot of parts to it. A lot of complex structures and things that make up this chapter. So the very first thing that we're going to begin with is reviewing the idea of plotting points. If I was to ask you how you can locate an exact point on a graph, let's say this point here, what would you say? Sort of like bingo. If you were playing bingo, when you go to call a specific number, let's say that this is these numbers, you would say the letter first, the letter, and then the number. So you always go horizontal, sideways, left to right, before you go up and down. So in this case, you really need to know what this value is, and then you need to know what this value is. That's what we're talking about today with locating points on a graph. This is called the coordinate plane. If you remember from the movie that we watched, The Story of Maths, there was a gentleman or man by the name of Descartes who created this in order to plot points and to be able to graph things. So this is called the Cartesian plane, better known as the coordinate plane. And the word coordinate, if you think about what it means works together. Kind of like cooperate. Co means together. So coordinate pairs are values that actually work together to be plotted as a point. The first thing that you need to know is that the horizontal line is called the x-axis. The vertical line is called the y-axis. And when you are graphing this, you are graphing it on what we call a plane. And a plane is a flat surface that goes on forever in every direction. And the horizontal is the x, the vertical is the y. Kind of like the number line, if you look at just the horizontal axis, the number line goes positive to the right, negative to the left, and vertically up, positive, vertically down, negative. The coordinate plane is divided into 4 different quadrants. Quadrant, kind of like quarter, Q-U-A, quad. It comes from 4. Quadratum in Latin is 4. So when you have 4 sections, they're called quadrants, each quadrant. The first quadrant is in the top right. It plots points that are positive and positive. The second is negative and positive. The third is negative and negative. And the fourth is positive and negative. It's really important that you know the names of the quadrants. We use Roman numerals to name the quadrants. And it kind of helps if you think of the letter C. If you were going to draw the letter C, you would probably start with the top corner. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. The point in the middle of the coordinate plane, if you think about when things begin, they originate. The origin of creation means the beginning. So the word origin is the name for the point where the x and y axis meet. The coordinate of the origin is 0, 0. Where the x value is 0, you went over 0 and up 0. That's called the origin. In order to graph points, also known as coordinate pairs, you are always going to have, in parentheses, holding 2 numbers. Your first number is your x coordinate. Your second number is your y coordinate. I used to always make it sound like kind of silly, but it hopefully will help you. A baby crawls before he walks. So you crawl horizontally before you go up and down. So plotting 2, 5, there are two different values, the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate. When x is equal to 2, y is equal to 5. The way to plot this is to go over 2 to the right, because that's the x value, then go up to 5, and right here is where you plot your point. This point is the point 2, 5. As we move on through this unit, you are going to see ordered pairs. And remember, ordered pairs means pairs that are organized. They're in order, x, y. You're going to see ordered pairs written in other methods, such as in a table of values. When x is 2, y is 5. Let's say if it's 3, it's 4. If it's 7, it's 2. Okay? That here that you see is a table of values. But horizontally, if you look at it, 2, 5 is one ordered pair. 3, 4 is the other, and 7, 2 is the other. The other way that you may possibly see it is horizontally, where they put x and y this way. And they would go 2, 5, 3, 4, 7, 2. So all of these ways of writing ordered pairs are maybe a little bit different, but they all give you the same x, y ordered pair. So what you guys are going to do right now, just to practice your graphing, you are going to do two things. First of all, there is a math space. It's called F5.1b. And the other thing is the worksheet F5.1 that is on Canvas. The worksheet you're going to upload to Canvas when you're done. And the math space obviously does itself. It looks like a lot of questions, but it's just plotting points, guys.